Vasudeva Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Shri Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Namo Pankajanabhaya Nama Pankajamalini Nama Pankajanitraya Namaste Pankajangriye. Glories of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 03. There is no literature throughout the universe like Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. There is no comparison. There is no competition. Every word is for the good of the human society. Somehow or other, if a book goes in someone's hand, he will be benefited. So, Granth Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the best literature. So let's absorb ourselves in reading this transcendental literature. Canto 7, Chapter 12, The Perfect Society, the Four Spiritual Classes. We read till text 11 yesterday, and we were discussing about that one should live under the guidance of Guru. One should not act whimsically. If one is not following the instructions of the spiritual master and acting whimsically, he has no shelter, Prabhupada is mentioning. And these are rules not only for brahmachari life. We read that all these rules and regulations apply to the householder as well as the sannyasi as well. So let's read the next verse, text number 12. Ajnana bhayan nagyano marda stri avel lakhami sham madhu Sragandha lepal lankarams tyajeyuri ye brihad vrataha. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Brahmacharis or grihasthas who have taken the vow of celibacy as described above should not indulge in the following: applying powder or ointment to the eyes, massaging the head with oil, massaging the body with the hands, seeing a woman or painting a woman's picture, eating meat, drinking wine, decorating the body with flower garlands, smearing scented ointments on the body, or decorating the body with ornaments. These they should give up. Hare Kṛṣṇa. So, here are some of the forbidden items for those who are trying to follow a life of regulation. So, as Prabhupada has given us the four regulative principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. These help. These are not very high spiritual principles. These are principles for human beings. If we are not following those, then we are not even human beings. That's what Prabhupada says. So, but these certainly assist to progress in the spiritual path. As we were discussing the other day, the bhala na khaibe, bhala na penny. I forgot the Bengali word. That means do not dress very opulently, do not eat very opulently. Anything, because they're not conducive for our spiritual life. Yes, we should dress nicely, we should eat nicely, in the sense simple living, high thinking. It should not be spending lakhs of rupees on dresses, or going to new restaurant just to eat. Oh, that restaurant has a very, very nice, you know, whatever, pizza. Even if it is, you know, like, okay, in the beginning, one may say, okay, oh, that has a vegan pizza, or without onion garlic pizza. But our point is not, we are not vegetarian or non-vegetarian. Prabhupada says we are prasadarian. We should eat food offered to Krishna. So whatever we eat, we should offer to Krishna. Yat karosi, yat johosi, yat. Okay. Whatever we eat, whatever we do, whatever we, it should be an offering to Krishna. So simple living, high thinking. That's the principle. And based on one's situations, the details may vary a little bit. Any comments or additions anyone has? Okay, let's read the next verse. Anyone who has not read for this week and would like to read? Okay, so that means everyone has read once, so we can read the second time. Yes, would someone like to read? Nandini Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu Dandot Pranam. Text 13 and 14. Ushitvavam Gurukule Dvijo Aditya Vabudhya cha Traim Sangop Gopanishadam Yavadartham Yatha Balam Tadatva Varam Anugyato Guru Kamam Yadishvara Gruham Vanam Va Pravisheta Pravarjate Tatra Vavaset. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. According to the rules and regulations mentioned above, one who is twice born, namely a Brahmana, Kshatriya or Vaishya, should reside in the Gurukula under the care of the spiritual master. There he should study and learn all the Vedic literatures, along with their supplements and the Upanishads, according to his ability and power to study. If possible, the student or disciple should reward the spiritual master with the remuneration the spiritual master requests, and then, following the master's order, the disciple should leave and adopt one of the other ashramas, namely Grihastha ashrama, Vanaprastha ashrama, or Sannyasa ashrama, as he desires. Purport: to study the Vedas and understand them, of course, requires some special intelligence, but the members of the three higher sections of society, namely the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, must learn the Vedic literatures according to their capability, and power to understand. In other words, studying the Vedic literatures is compulsory for everyone but the Shudras and Antyagyas. The Vedic literature gives the knowledge that can lead one to understand the absolute truth, Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagwan. Gurukula, or the reformatory educational institution, should be used only to understand Vedic knowledge. At the present time, there are many educational institutions for training and technology, but such knowledge has nothing to do with understanding of the absolute truth. Technology, therefore, is meant for the Shudras, whereas the Vedas are meant for the Dvijas. Consequently, this verse states, Dvijo Ditya Va Budhaya Cha Traim Sangopa Nishadam. At the present time, in the age of Kali, practically everyone is a Shudra and no one is a Dvija. Therefore, the condition of society has very much deteriorated. Another point to be observed from this verse is that from the Brahmachari ashrama, one may accept the sannyas ashrama, vanaprastha ashrama, or grihastha ashrama. It is not compulsory for a brahmachari to become a grihastha because the ultimate aim is to understand the absolute truth. There is no necessity of going through all the different ashramas. Thus, one may proceed to the sannyas ashrama directly from the brahmachari ashrama. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur accepted the sannyas ashrama directly from the brahmachari ashrama. In other words, His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur did not think it compulsory to accept the grihastha ashrama or vanaprastha ashrama. Hari Bol. So, this is very straightforward that one can go from one ashrama to directly from brahmachari ashrama to sannyasa ashrama or any other ashrama for that purpose. And in the first part of the purport, it mentions that Brahmana, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas used to go to Gurukul, which uh, it was not mentioned like this straightforward before, as far as I remember. And the Vedic literature, they used to study Vedic literature, and it says that that gives the knowledge that can lead one to understand the absolute truth. So this is quite a detailed Vedic knowledge they used to learn. And then Prabhupada talks about the today's educational systems. One time Hanumat Praship Swami called it's not education, it's stupidification. Sometimes the system that is used is the same system regardless of what you are capable of, what is your liking. It is just a very impersonal system of education that we see in nowadays worlds, and it's far superior is this Vedic system of Gurukula system. Another thing is that this is Prabhupada also used to talk about how there is no department to teach about God, and here in Gurukula we said that the main focus is the foundation is that we learn the Vedic literature, we learn the here Prabhupada says about the absolute truth, Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagwan, and then of course in Kali Yuga practically everyone is a Shudra. So what to speak of, Gurukula system? The society has been very much deteriorated, Prabhupada says. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing wonderful comments. And as we know that according to their ability, everyone learns differently. You were in a class, the teacher is teaching something. It's not that all the students absorb the same way. So, and the student should reward the the spiritual master, as per the spiritual master's request. So that's Vedic culture. And we see how Kṛṣṇa and when they went to his guru Sandipni Muni ashram. Does anyone recall what his guru asked Kṛṣṇa for the reward? Kṛṣṇa asked, "What can I give you, my guru?"
He asked for his bringing his sons back. His wife asked to bring their sons back. 6 sons were passed away.
Thank you, Mataji. So his guru also knew that he is not an ordinary person. Can anyone bring, the son who has passed away back? But his guru knew that although I'm taking the role of a teacher, but I'm not teaching an ordinary person. So his guru also asked of extraordinary thing to bring the sons back, which he did, and pleased his guru. So based on the request of guru, one should try one's best. Any other comments or questions anyone has? Let's discuss this point. What can we do, or I do, to establish Varnashrama system? I think some devotee asked this, and then today I was hearing a lecture Varnashrama system does not necessarily mean farm projects. That's certainly one aspect of it. But we should not limit our thinking by saying that those who are doing farm projects are only following Varnashrama system. Yeah, that's certainly one aspect of it, and that is certainly glorious. But can everyone be interested in farms? Uh, Probably not. So let's discuss and take some thoughts or suggestions, comments from different devotees. So, what can I do to help? Because Prabhupada did say that it is my, incomplete mission which my future generations will do. So, what can I do as an individual to help in Prabhupada's dream? Any thoughts? Anyone would like to share? Any comments? Let's take a few comments. Anyone wants to speak?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, Prabhuji, if I consider myself a Sudra, and I can serve the Vaishnavas because I see them as highly exalted Brahmanas that I have to serve. So if I serve them wholeheartedly, I will be exercising the Varnashram system to serve the higher personalities. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. You shared a very important point, serving the Brahmanas, Vaishnavas. Okay, all those who are living by those principles, completely dependent on Krishna. Anyone else?
Study study the books very carefully, because at least I had not done that in a Gurukula system or anywhere else. So studying and then sharing the realization can make a big impact.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. Studying nicely and then sharing with others. Yes. Because although on one side, Vamsilas Prabhu said, okay, I'm a Shudra, but Prabhupada is saying that I want all of my children to be Brahmanas. So what I was feeling that yes, at times, ultimately Vaishnavism is above all those things. So the same individual may have to do the duties of Shudra, of Brahmana, of Vaishya and Kshatriya at times, based on one's nature. Again, someone will be more, Kshatriya spirit, managerial kind of. Someone will be more towards books. Someone will be more towards just helping in cooking, cleaning. They're all glorious. But yes, these are like different aspects. So great thoughts. Anyone else wants to share? Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Done with everybody. When Srila Prabhupada, as we have discussed before, when he talked about Varnashram, he is talking about Daivi Varnashram system. So it doesn't matter whether someone is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, the goal is same, to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, of course, different individual is under the different bond with different modes of material natures. So if I have a tendency to be a Vaishya, which is farming and the business, then I'm contributing myself in this Varnashram system as a Vaishya for farming and the money and the business, and giving the money whatever towards the Varnashram system, towards in the service of Krishna. So this individual has to see their nature, but that the point is that this is not a caste system. So if someone has a, let's say many of the devotees are IT, now according to the, are they means Shudra? No, they are not Shudra. They have taken up Krishna consciousness. They are following full regulatory principle, chanting 16 rounds. They are not Shudras, but that is their nature, and they have taken up that service or that job. But they are above. But ultimately, they know that their goal is ultimately to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See, and his devotees. So each individual's nature, what nature individual has, and contribute in that way, but keeping the goal ultimately. So we are not interested in the caste system here, because otherwise, oh, you are Shudra. Brahman say, you are Shudra. To other devotees, he will say, you are Shudra, you have to do this. No, it's not like that. That will be an offense. That will be offense at the feet of the Vaishnavas, actually. So we have to be careful. That's what I understand. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. You mentioned so many wonderful points. And I also kind of feel on the same lines that in ISKCON there are so many services. So as an individual, I must find out there are certain things which we all have to do or must do, like chanting minimum 16 rounds, sadhu sangha, kirtan, chanting, following the 4 regulative principles, and taking care of the deities, reading Prabhupada's books, etc. These are like must-dos. One cannot survive, or one cannot do any other services without these. But then there are some services which we must do, which we should figure out what I love to do. Then it will not be a burden, but it will be a very joyful experience. And that's basically telling my nature. What is my nature? Because it's not that everyone would love to give a class or would be equally comfortable giving a class. So if I ask my mother, will you give a class? It's like, no. I'm happy rolling chapatis. Or if someone, so if we put the person in the role where they're not fit, or so my point is we should figure out what I love to do. And I've seen different people. They love to do different things, which are all Krishna conscious. Like someone may like to feed prasadam to others. Someone may like to do book distribution, and that gives them energy, that gives them motivation. Someone likes to manage programs. That gives them a lot of motivation. Someone likes to paint for Krishna. Someone likes to write articles for Krishna consciousness. Someone likes to make videos. Someone likes to play kirtan, mridanga, kartal, etc. Someone likes to wash dishes and clean the temple. They will happily do it. They're waiting for it. It's someone likes to just be with the cows all the time and take care of the cows, massage them and everything. And someone likes to just make more money and give more money. Fundraisers. Because all these services are great. Someone likes to just chant various mantras, memorize shlokas and chant those. Someone likes to just go deeper and deeper in Bhagvatam and this commentary and that commentary and understanding and enriching. So it's not that one is better and other is not good. So what, on a long term, what my experience and limited understanding and experience is that we should all figure out there are certain things which we must do and certain things which we love to do. We should have a healthy balance of that. And even we can tell our Diksha Guru or Shiksha Guru that I love to cook prasadam and I want to feed devotees prasadam. I get strength, I get spiritual strength by doing that. And so the Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru can help them to engage, to dovetail their propensity rather than like if your child likes to play football, but you force him to play basketball or something else. It's maybe not a very good example, but we have to see the nature of the child and dovetail that accordingly. Now, in a traditional model, the student would live with the guru, so the guru would observe closely. But in this model, the guru is not with the disciple. So it is our duty as a disciple, Shiksha disciple, Diksha disciple, to tell my guru, to tell my teacher, to tell that I like to do this. Although I'm happy to do whatever you ask me to do, but by my natural nature, I like to do this. And if it is Krishna conscious, why will the spiritual master reject? Why will they say, don't do it? If someone says, I like to paint for Krishna, I want to do Krishna conscious paintings, will you discourage that person? If someone comes, I like to cook various items to offer to Krishna, will you discourage that person? No. So that's some of my thoughts. Any other comments? Any other, like, what can we do to help? Yes, Prabhuji.
But but ultimately we have to accept what spiritual master says. I mean, it had happened in one devotee's case of Srila Prabhupada disciple. He liked music and he wanted to do music. And Srila Prabhupada knew. Srila Prabhupada was, he knew super soul in the heart. He knew everything what the disciple was going towards. And he was good at the music. Srila Prabhupada said, no, you're not going to do music, you're going to do this. And he had to accept that. So that's ultimately, that's also the sort of understanding that ultimately spiritual master, of course, as you said, we say our what I like to do, everything, but ultimately is what spiritual master want me to do, because he knows what is best for me. Because ultimately, sometimes, and I'm talking for myself, tendency can be there to self-aggrandize, to get the recognition, fame, name, because I'm good at it. Say it happens that also. So if spiritual master says no, then I have to accept it. It has happened to some of the Prabhupada disciples. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else would like to share any comments, questions? Yes, please.
So one time one disciple said he was really into hip-hop music and he met devotees at the concerts, but he was thinking that I cannot leave my music world behind and come join Krishna consciousness. He was good and nice devotee. And then he asked, Radhanath Swami said, now what do you want to be? He said, I want to be rock star. So he said, okay, then you should really worship Govardhan Shila. Make this rock your star. And he's a very good devotee now. He's our godfather, Brajananda Prabhu, and a very sweet devotee. And that one sentence made him realize attachment should be for Krishna. And, with Guru's instruction comes the empowerment. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that wonderful rock star story. It's amazing. Okay, let's read next verse. Someone like to read text 15? Renuka Mataji, you want to read? Vipul Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Text 15. Agnau Guravo Atmani Cha Sarvo Bhutesha Adakshajam Bhutaisha Dhamabhihi Prashad Apravistam Pravistabat. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. One should realize that in the fire, in the spiritual master, in oneself, and in all living entities, in all circumstances and conditions, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, has simultaneously entered and not entered. He is situated externally and internally as the full controller of everything. Purport. Relation of the Supreme Personal Godhead's omnipresence is the perfect relation of the absolute truth, to be attained through the study of the Vedic literatures. As stated in the Brahma Samhita 5.35, Andatarastha Paramanu Chayantara Stham. The Lord is situated within the universe, within the heart of every living entity, and also within the atom. We should understand that whenever the Supreme Personal Godhead is present, he is present with all his paraphernalia, including his name, form, associates, and servants. The living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Personal Godhead, and thus one should understand that since the Supreme Lord has entered the atom, the living entities are also there. One must accept the inconceivable quality of the Supreme Personal Godhead, for no one can understand from the material point of view how the Lord is all pervasive and yet is situated in his own abode, Goloka Vrindavan. This relation is possible if one strictly follows the regular principles of ashram, brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. Srila Madhvacharya says in this regard, Aprabhishto sarva gata pravishtosta anurupabhan evam di rupo bhagavan harir eko janardana. The Supreme Personal Godhead in his original form has not entered everything aprabhishta, but in his impersonal form he has entered pravishta. Thus, he has entered and not entered simultaneously. This is also explained in Bhagavad Gita 9.4, wherein the Lord says, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat abhekta murtina masthani sarva bhutani na chaham tesho avasthita. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. The Lord can defy himself. Thus, there is variety in unity. Agatam bhutam. So here, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, showing his omnipresence. And so Lord is everywhere, as you know, that Lord created this whole universe. When the Lord is as a Vishnu and Garbhodaksha Vishnu laying on that Karan Sagar, causal ocean, from it pours all the worlds, this creation created, and then Lord as a Shivadaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha, Shivadaksha, and Karnadaksha Vishnu, Karnadaksha Vishnu, and then Garbhodaksha Vishnu, then Karnadaksha Vishnu, he entered in the each universe, and as a Shivadaksha Vishnu, he entered in the all the atoms. Probably if I'm wrong, please correct me. So Lord is everywhere in each atom, but still he is not mixed with all these universes. So the example I understand that the sky is all pervasive. Everywhere is the sky, but still not mixing. Like in a pot, within the air, the sky is there. But as soon as you break the pot, the sky is, there's no limitation. We cannot say this is the sky. So sky is everywhere, but still not mixing with anything. So the Lord staying in the Golok Vrindavan, still he is everywhere in each atom. So, but this is possible only by knowing the Supreme Personal God, his omnipresence, by signing to the Supreme Master, and with devotion, this knowledge is only possible to perceive both his origin form and impersonal form together, how it works. That is my understanding, Prabhuji. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. He is present everywhere, yet he is not present. That's his transcendental pastimes. Like a king is present everywhere in his kingdom, but still he is doing his spending time with his queen and with his family, etc. So in his impersonal form, through his ministers, through his instructions, through his laws, he's present. That's another analogy to look at this situation. Yet Krishna is always doing his Nitya Leela in Goloka Vrindavan, in Shyama Sundar form, with his cowherd friends, with his eternal consorts, with the gopis, etc. Yet, the whole material world is running under his direction. He is the controller. So, that's very, very difficult for us to understand. That's what is Srila Prabhupada is mentioning. Because it is inconceivable. We cannot understand Krishna through our limited mind and intelligence. He is all pervasive. He is infinite. How can the infinite be understood by the finite? It's impossible. Brahmaji gets bewildered, Indra gets bewildered, so many great personalities gets bewildered. How can we understand Krishna? We cannot understand Krishna. Yet we should try to understand Krishna. And then we will understand that we cannot understand Krishna. That's the beauty of Krishna consciousness. So, Prabhupada is mentioning that these rules and regulations help actually. This realization is possible. So see, that's how we have to, I like this statement by Gopal Hari Prabhu. Every text has a context. Earlier, Prahlad Maharaj said all these rules and regulations are good for nothing. Celibacy, tolerance, and charity, and all these are externals. Following big vows, sense control, all these are, one cannot understand Krishna by this. Prahlad Maharaj clearly mentioned yajna, dana, tapa, austerity, anything. Prahlad Maharaj completely rejected. He was talking about pure bhakti, which is absolutely true. But here Prabhupada is mentioning this realization is possible if one strictly follows the rules and regulations of the ashramas. So every ashrama has certain rules and regulations which we read, like sense control, not eating meat, not indulging in intoxication, remaining clean, studying scriptures, etc., etc. So those things are not the main thing, but yet we are not devotees like Prahlad either. We have a very long way to go. I have a very long way to go. So all these rules and regulations, they are called regulative principles of freedom. Regulation leads to freedom. The example given is that if one is a stray dog, the stray dog may think, oh, I am free. I can go to any place, anywhere. But all he is free, you may have seen it, stray dogs in India. All they are free is to get kicked. They go into a pile of trash, try to get something, try to eat something outside someone's home, and then they'll be kicked away. Or someone will shoo them away with a stick. Then they'll, suffer outside in the cold and in the heat, in the cold, in the rain. Every day, they don't have a place to live. They don't have proper food. They don't. Other stray dogs will torture them. Other people will torture them. The other motor vehicles will torture them. Is that freedom good? That so-called freedom is actually a punishment for that. But a pet dog has taken shelter of the master. A pet dog, the master will say, jump. The pet dog will jump. And then he will give him nice biscuits. He'll give him a nice sheltered place. In the heat, the master will put a cooler. In the cool, master will put a heater or a blanket. So actually, by living under regulation, one gets the topmost benefit. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, "Ami to tumhara kukur," I am your pet dog. And to show that we are this Kantimala, we boldly declare that I am Krishna's pet dog. I am no more a so-called independent servant of Maya. I want to be a pet dog. That means I am a pet dog of my Guru. If my Guru says jump, I will jump. If Krishna says jump, I will jump. Karishyasi vachanai tvai. I will live under the direction. I will not act whimsically. I will live under the direction of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. That is what it means to be a disciple. Disciple means to live under discipline. Shishya. Shishya means allow oneself to live under the shasan of the Guru. Guru is like the king, or under the discipline of the Guru. So that helps. But if you are acting whimsically, then we are not being a disciple. Disciple means to live under discipline. So, any other comments, questions, any thoughts? Prabhu, looks like you want to say something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandot Pranam. Hare Krishna, devotees, Dandot Pranam. So, as you were mentioning, Prabhu, I was just thinking that here Prabhupada is mentioning that two aspects of Lord. One is the personal form and the other one is impersonal form. And Prabhupada is saying that in impersonal form, he is everywhere. And in personal form, he is in Goloka Vrindavan, he is doing his Nitya Lila, as you were mentioning. And Prabhupada, as Bipul Prabhu was saying, that Shirodakshai Vishnu is going to each and every atom. So here we have to understand that when Lord, his expansion, they are same as equal. The verse is actually in Brahma Samhita, it says Dipat Chirobi. Okay, there was a verse in Brahma Samhita which is saying that all the expansion of their quality and everything is everything is same. There is no difference. But the devotees, they want to worship Lord as a personal form. And that's in that context, I was thinking that the Gyanis, they have a realization, Sharvang Kholidang Brahma, that everywhere is Brahma. So they don't develop the real attraction, but in the devotees' case, as Mahaprabhu showed that the worship in the form of separation, that is the highest form of the worship. And if we know that, we kind of understood that even before Mahaprabhu, we saw that in that past time when Uddhav Maharaj was sent to Vrindavan, to pacify the Brajavasis there. And he started from Nanda Maharaj. He didn't meet Mother Yashoda because he didn't have the courage to go and see Mother Yashoda because her separation was so strong. But he met the first night Nanda Maharaj, and then gradually he met the gopis. So he understood actually Kṛṣṇa, through him, he gave the lesson that his personal form, service to the personal form, and service through separation. And we see that starting from Srila Madhavendra Puripad, then Mahaprabhu, and here we see that if you hear Gaur Govinda Maharaj, His Holiness Gaur Govinda Maharaj's lecture or his book, I mean, how much separation. So our acharyas actually, they showed us, the other day, Bhadraprabhu was telling that the Raghunath Das Goswami, he was only sleeping only 1.5 hours. And all the time he was in separation. So that's our philosophy is here. I mean, at the same time, Lord is everywhere and there is no difference. And at the same time, his personal form is, that's the devotees, they want to serve him. Hare Krishna Prabhu, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Any other comments or questions anyone has? Okay, so we will continue tomorrow. Tomorrow is weekend. So we'll continue tomorrow. And day after His Grace, Shanmukund Prabhu will speak on Lord Balram. And tomorrow, 7:30, if anyone wants to join, that will be in Hindi, about Keshida Mandila. And at 9 o'clock, we'll discuss text 16. So that's the plan for tomorrow, and day after, Shanmukund Prabhu will be there. Okay, so we will stop here. Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Thank you so much. Haribol.